Welcome, welcome. Come on in. We're going to jam just a little bit. Y'all know how we do. Hey.
We got just to celebrate, like saying now you're burning, my baby in one day, breakfast on the jet,
Hey.
That's reject, that day, not today, big things are happening now, more this, more that, more dress, more cash, more babes, more cars.
All right. So, welcome. My name is Nzali, and this is Nzali Takes Africa. I am so excited to join you all this holiday season. So, here on this channel, we talk about all things Africa, all things Nzali, of course. And I help women, Black women specifically, who are looking to create the life that they deserve. And if you want to do that on the African continent, then this is the channel for you. So you're in the right place. You are in the right place. Now, I have a very special treat for you all. This holiday season, this Christmas season, I am doing 12 days of Christmas, Ghana edition. So every day for 12 days leading up to Christmas, I'm going to be giving you the Nzali approved treatment, places that you must see when you visit Ghana. Are y'all ready for that? Let me hear you. Are you ready? Are you ready? All right, I think you are. So this is the very first day of 12 days of Christmas. So now, when I say Nzali approved, meaning these are places that I have visited. These are places that I have gone to multiple times. These are places that I recommend people go. These places have historical reverence that we pay to it. These places are some of the turn-up spots. These are things that like everybody must see. You've probably seen an Instagram reel about it. Some of it you may not, potentially. But these are places that are like, yeah. And Nzali said it, I have to go there. Sorry, my eye is watering. Hold on, y'all. All right. So yes. So today we're going to start. Oh, how could I forget? Let me back it up. I got excited to share with y'all this good news. So let me back it up. And let me say to remember to like the channel, subscribe to the channel, comment down below. Let me know what you think. Make sure that you are engaged with the channel because that's the way that YouTube knows to recommend me to other people. So if you don't like the video, you don't subscribe, you don't leave a comment, how are they going to know? How are they going to know? They'll never know. So yes, make sure you like the video, make sure you subscribe, and make sure that you're commenting down below. And also, you can always follow me on Instagram, which is at Nzali Takes Africa. You can keep up with me personally, see what I'm doing on the day-to-day, and, check out some of my more travels, some of my other travels within Africa as well. All right, so we done got that intro out the way, and now we're back to our 12 days. So this is day number 1. On the first day of Christmas, my true love gave to me Accra. Accra. Anytime you hear about Ghana, you have to know Accra. The first reason you have to know Accra is because that's where you're going to fly into. Okay, we do have an international airport in Accra. This is where most of our flights fly into. If you're coming from the United States, most likely you're flying with United or Delta. And from the East Coast, you're going to come from New York, DC, or Atlanta. That's where you're going to fly out of. So the first day of Christmas, we're talking all things Accra. You're going to fly into Accra. You're going to see that big old nice new fancy airport. Well, I just want to give y'all a brief backstory. When I first came to Ghana, that airport that y'all see today, that was not it. You see, when you come out of the airport in Accra, there's another little airport that's off to the side. That used to be the airport. And when you would walk out of that thing, people would flood you on the outside and be like, oh, taxi, you need a ride. And you would be like overwhelmed because you're getting hit with the heat and you get hit with all the people. And it was like an overwhelming experience, to say the least. So all of y'all newbies who are coming to Ghana, you all have this new posh, luxurious, state-of-the-art airport, and I ain't mad at it. I'm happy for y'all. I'm happy for y'all. But for my old school people, y'all know what it used to be, and you know what it is now. So yes, first things first, you're going to fly into Accra. Accra is the biggest city within Ghana, and it also is the capital city. And it holds a lot of historical reverence because it's the place where really you have like the heart of the independence. So when we think Ghana, we think Accra, which is day one of these 12 days. You want to think independence, you want to think culture, and of course, you have to think nightlife. Okay, because that's why some of y'all come for Dirty December, the nightlife, right? So when we fly into Accra, you're flying into the airport. One of the biggest things that we take away from the city is the historical reference and the idea of like this was the heart of independence. Accra is also a Ga area. So within Ghana, we have multiple tribes, right? And so each tribe has like an area where you most likely will find a large population of them. So in Accra, we have the Ga people. In, let's say, Kumasi, which is another city, you have the Ashanti people. In Cape Coast, which we'll talk about on another day, you have the Fanti people. And let's say in Volta area, you may have the Ewe, right? Or a lot of Americans will say Ewe because it's EWE, but it's pronounced Ewe. So each region has their people. Northern region has people. Western region has people. Each region has their tribe. So for Accra, which is what we're talking about today, you have the Ga, spelled G-A. Okay, and the Ga people actually, some type of way through history, are connected to the Yoruba, who also believe themselves to be some of the descendants of people from ancient Kemet or ancient Egypt, as some may say. So, like almost like the original Jewish people, I guess you would say. So all of that if you really go deep into that history, the lineage of those people, they basically migrated from what is now Northern Africa down through into Western Africa. And so you have the Ga people. All right. So you know the tribe that dominates that area. And then I will say this is the tricky part. So although the Ga people dominate Accra, like that's their area, the language that's spoken the most in Accra, funny enough, is not Ga. It is Tree. And Tree is like a language of the Akan, most notably like the Ashanti. So why is that? Okay, I think that is because in Accra, you kind of have all the tribes. Even though it's a Ga area, all the tribes kind of migrate into Accra because that's where a lot of work is. They have some universities in Accra. So people just kind of speak Tree because that's a widely spoken language. But the true language is the Ga. All right. So remember I said when we're thinking about Accra, we're thinking independence, culture, and nightlife. So one of the top places, I'm going to give you some landmarks that are must-sees when you come to Accra. So one of the places that you must see when you're coming to Accra and you're thinking about independence and what that means for the people of Ghana, you have to make sure that you make your way down to Independence Square and the Black Star Square. Okay, I'm just gonna pull up some pictures because I absolutely think this is the best place for photos because you're gonna get a lot of good sunlight and it's gonna give you that like cool backdrop that you're looking for. So I'm just gonna pull some of those up really quickly. Let's see, do we have some here? Let's see. Ooh, okay, so we have the Black Star Square. So this is me. This is a couple years ago. I mean, I've gone here more times than I can count, right? But this is the Black Star Square. This is like their monument to their independence movement. And as you can see, it's called Freedom and Justice. That's what Ghana stands for. And you also see that it happened in 1957, right up there at the top. So whenever you come to Ghana, of course, you want to make sure that you go and see the Black Star Square. Again, it gives you some of the best pictures that you can ever think of. And it really shows you like the heart, right? You know, on the Ghanaian flag, you have that black star in the middle, and that represents the people, right? So you see I got my fist up there. And so it really kind of lets you know, like, the establishment of this country, this is what the heart of it was about. It was about the people. It was about freedom. It was about justice, right? And so you always want to make sure that when you touch down in Accra, this is a place that you definitely want to go and see. And then just opposite the Black Star is where you have the Independence Square. And so Independence Square now is kind of used for more so like events, right? Kind of like a stadium in a sense, right? So we really, there I go. We really use it to, like, for example, we had Global Citizen Music Festival. And so the Global Citizen Music Festival was held at the Black Star Square. And so I'll just show you quickly. There we go. So just opposite Black Star, if you look across the street, then there you have Independence Square. You see it's a big place. So we also do like our Independence Day March there, where they bring out all the dignitaries, the school children come and march, the president's there. All of that happens, there. And the cool part about this is both of these places are actually right on the water. I don't think a lot of people realize that Accra is a coastal city, but it is. Accra actually sits on the Atlantic Ocean. So you see the beautiful water in the background. So you're going to get some of that breeze up off of the ocean, and you also will get clearly a lot of sun. And of course, it's a lovely place to have backdrop pictures. Also, a really cool thing is that this is free. You don't have to pay to go to these places. And you can climb up to the top of the Black Star and actually take pictures from there. So this picture that you see of me and my fiance, we are actually on top of Black Star Square, and we're taking the picture where it looks out over Independence Square. So I always think that that's like a little cool, place for people to kind of take their pictures and, just keep like your keepsake, right? Your keepsake for Accra. And when you speak about independence, you can't think of independence and not think of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, because Dr. Kwame Nkrumah is basically like Ghana's forefather, right? Of course, there was the Big Six, right? And we do pay homage to the Big Six, which is like a collection of people that were a part of that liberation movement, or like leaders as a part of that liberation movement. So like, okay, in America, you may have like Martin Luther King, which is like who everybody knows, and like Malcolm X. But then under Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, you would have had like a Jesse Jackson or a John Lewis, or, it's like some other people who are in the mix, but the big face is that person. So for Ghana, that person is Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. And so for him, one of the highlights and places that you must see in Ghana or Accra is the Dr. Kwame Nkrumah Musulem. And so when you go there, basically he's buried there, right? Like they have a burial site there for him. They have all of these like artifacts from his life, from his work. There's pictures of him. There's a huge golden statue of him. They actually remodeled it a few years ago, so it is quite nice. And you really get to hear like the history of him, the country, the struggle for liberation, and why it was so important and why that work meant so much to him. And so if we're talking about connecting, we're talking about really tapping into the culture and the realness of Ghana, then you must go to Kwame Nkrumah Musulem. And just a little fun fact, unlike some of the other liberation fighters within Africa, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah has a really good connection with the diaspora from the U.S. And we love him dearly because, of course, he went to university in the United States, right? And not only did when I say he went to university, he went to Lincoln University. Look that up if you don't know. Shout out to my HBCUs. But he went to Lincoln University. He studied there. And it was at that point that he learned about our civil rights movement, what we were doing to free ourselves as Black people in the States. And then it made him think about, okay, what does liberation look like for my people? Right. And so he basically studied under a lot of our liberation civil rights leaders, and he was able to take what he learned in the US and apply it to his country, his context in Ghana when he went back. And he really did fight for their liberation, and they got it. right? Because previously, before it was Ghana, it was Gold Coast, right? Ghana is the new name. And so when you go to that museum, you will learn more and more and more about his history, about his connection to us. Also, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah is a member of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated. Shout out to my frat, Levi. And so for any of my D9, make sure you go there. Make sure you take really, really good pictures and like really listen to the history, because I just think he's like a perfect example of what can happen when both parties come together. So like those of us in the diaspora, those of us who are in Africa, when we really learn from each other and apply what we're learning from each other to help each other, this is what happens. And another cool thing about Dr. Kwame Nkrumah is that after liberation, he invited a lot of African Americans to Ghana. So that's how you have those pictures of like Malcolm X in Ghana. Maya Angelou lived in Ghana for a while. W.E.B. Dubois lived in Ghana and actually is buried in Ghana. That's another landmark that you really want to see, the Dubois Center. And so it was his connection to the diaspora, his invitation is really like what started this whole, you know, Black American Ghanaian connection and bridge. And I just think that he is a great example of what has happened and what can happen in the future. And I think the current president has continued with the whole Year of Return, Beyond the Return campaign. And I'm sure our new president, Mr. Mahama, will do the same. And so, yes, I'm just excited about you all taking a trip. Your first stop is going to be in Accra, and you're really soaking up the independence history and some of the culture of the city. So now, another good thing to do while you are in Accra that is Nzali approved is you want to make sure that you get some shopping in. Like when you start thinking about African prints, Ghana has some of the best prints, right? Ghana has the kente, the woven cloth. Ghana has the printed African cloth. Like there's so much vibrancy in the clothing and the fabric, so much color, so much life that you definitely want to make sure that you get some shopping in. And one of the biggest markets in Ghana is Makola Market. Now, I do want to warn you, Makola is crazy, okay? Makola is packed. There's going to be tons of people running up and down, going, I mean, it's just a lot. You're going to have all the negotiations back and forth trying to come up with a price. But everything that's under the sun is sold in Makola. So if you want to go and buy fabric, you want to get it at a good price, you want to negotiate, beat it down a little bit, go to Makola. And I would even say, make sure you have like a local guide who can kind of help guide you, take you to the right areas, because it's a huge market, right? But they can also help you with the negotiation of prices, because different than the US and Ghana, we do negotiate prices. So you want to make sure that you do have like a local guide that can take you and that can help you with the negotiations. But make sure you see Makola. Okay, even if it's just for the experience of an outdoor bustling market in Africa and what that looks like. And again, I do want to say Makola has different sections. So you don't want to be in the food area looking for fabric, right? There is an area of the market where it's just like clothing, fabric, all of that kind of stuff. And so you want to make sure you go there and get you some stuff. And not only do you buy the fabric, but then you, of course, you're going to get a tailor to make you something. So I would say maybe like day 2, day 3 of your trip, go and get you some fabric, then get yourself measured so that by the time you leave, you have some nice Ghanaian attire or traditional African attire that you can take back with you to the States, you know? And what else do I want to say about Accra? Oh, remember I said Accra is all about the independence, the culture, and the nightlife. How could I forget the nightlife? Oh, hold on, y'all. I think I got my alarm is going off. Give me just a second. Hold on, y'all. Let me give you just a second so I can turn off this alarm. Do. All right. Give me a second, y'all. Alrighty, y'all, I'm back. Sorry about that. My alarm was going off and I didn't want y'all to hear that in the background. So, independence, culture, and the nightlife. When you think Dirty December, you think Christmas in Ghana, New Year's in Ghana, you cannot skip the nightlife, the partying, the, just having the time of your life in a safe place. And it's like all melanated, all, just people everywhere. You cannot forget that. And so I would not do you justice if I did not mention, when you come to Ghana, day one of the 12 days of Christmas, we're talking Accra. There's no way we can speak Accra without talking about the nightlife. And when we say nightlife in Accra, most of our nightlife is kind of like centered in one area. And that area is called Osu, O-S-U. And Osu, of course, is also close to the water, right? But it has so many places that you can like chill. You can go and hookah or have shisha. You can go and dance. You can go and lounge. You can go and, stand on top of couches and twerk. You can go and see traditional dancing and drumming, and like, you can have a place that's close to the beach. You can have a place that's a rooftop. Like, all of those places are in Osu. And so when you come to Ghana, when you're going out, the place that you want to make sure you make your way to in the evening is Osu. So there are a few places that I absolutely love. I'm going to show you a video of one of them, but I'll talk about a few first. One of the places I absolutely love that's on the beach is called Sandbox. Sandbox is it's posh, okay? It's right on the water. You have good food. I'm talking lobster, mac and cheese. I'm talking steak. I'm talking like lamb chops. Like, they have everything. The food is so good, and the drinks are really good. Now, some people will say that Sandbox is more on the expensive side. However, I mean, you're on vacation, so it's worth it. But Sandbox is one of those places. And again, it does look out over the water. It also has a pool area there that you can go to. And it's just really a cool place. Another place that I would say when you're going to Osu, if you want a rooftop place, there's a place. Now, if you want like a local rooftop place where like all the real Ghanaians gonna be and they really gonna be turning up, then you want to go to Kona. Kona always has the best DJ, cheap drinks, and a really good vibe. People are going to be dancing, sweating, having the time of their life. And it's been that way for years. What is the name of that other rooftop spot? Oh, I'm so sorry. I should have wrote that name down. There's another rooftop spot that's not that far from Kona. It's actually opposite, what is that? Frankie's. So if you can find Frankie's, then you can find that other rooftop spot. They're just opposite each other on the other side of the street. And so those are some places. Of course, you have the one Bloom Bar. Next time you're gone, I'll take you to Bloom. Bloom Bar is going to be there. It's going to be full, packed to capacity. The only thing I'll say about Bloom Bar is sometimes their security be tripping a little bit. Ghana done got a little bougie from time to time. And sometimes their security can be quite, no, like, that type of thing. So that's all I'm gonna say about Bloom. But the DJ is gonna be good, and it's gonna be packed full of people, so you can't lose with that one. Where else in Osu? Ali Bar is small, but it's always gonna be popping. Always gonna have a really, really good DJ, and it's just gonna be full of the vibe, right? Treehouse opposite Ali Bar for really, really good food. Right? If you want some real good food, going over to Treehouse. And I mean, there's just so many places. If you want a real local experience, then you need to go to the Purple Pub. I'm not even going to tell you where the Purple Pub is. I just want you to get to Ghana and ask your Uber driver about Purple Pub. If you want a real local chilling experience, of course, there's the Polo Beach Club. That's where Afrofuture does all of their like big parties. I think this year the New Year's Eve party is going to be there. There's a few other spots that are right on the water that you can go to. There's just so many that it's just like, I don't even know. Like, it's so many for me to tell you that I can't name them all. right? But I do have one that I really, really love. This one is a staple. Let me see if I can pull it up for y'all. And this one is what I'm saying is Nzali approved. For sure, for sure. All of them are that I just listed, but this one is my fave. And I'll tell you why in a second. All right, so let me pull it up. All right, so this place is the, oh, why is it not playing? Oh, y'all. Let me see. Every time you think technology is going to do what it needs to do, it don't do what it needs to do. That's what I mean, and that's faithful. Let me see if I can get it up for y'all again. All right, let's see. Hey, let's see. All right. $1 million. Hey, I'm glad it cut off before before I get a flag for playing DeVito. So this place is called Republic, the Republic. The reason that I love the Republic, and let me see if I can just pull up like a street view. I have some other videos of the Republic, but it has like people in it that I don't know because I was just kind of doing an aerial shot. And I don't want to have people that I don't know on my YouTube video. And then somebody come back later and it's like, hey, you know, blah, blah, blah. Or somebody want to sue me. I don't know. People are crazy these days. All right, let me see if I can pull up something from their page for the street view. Now, Republic is a very small place. It is not big at all, y'all. Like, I don't want y'all to be thinking that like Republic is like this huge club. It absolutely is not. It is a very small, really, you're like literally like on the roadside. Let me go ahead and share my screen. All right, let me remove that one. Let's see. I thank y'all for rocking with me. You guys are the best. Okay, so you see this Republic? Republic is literally on the street side. Oh, I don't know what that just did. It's literally on the street side. It's a small little place, right? This is what it looks like in the day. Very small little spot. But when I tell you, this is where the DJ stands. When I tell you people have the time of their lives at Republic, we really be out here having the time of our life at Republic. And it's such a good vibe that everybody wants to go there. Literally. And not only is it a good vibe, but it's like reasonable drinks, right? Reasonably priced. And they also have a lot of palm wine options. Palm wine is one of those drinks that they tap from the palm trees. And it's like a very localized drink, but it's so good. It's so good. And they make these like hibiscus and palm wine. Basically, they use local ingredients to make the drinks, and they're so good. And oh my gosh, they have this what is that shot? It has apoteshi. Apoteshi is like tequila on steroids. They have this apoteshi shot. It will put you down, okay? It will put you down, honey. You can't drink that whole shot. Okay, take a little bit, let it warm your chest up, then let it go on by its way. But yes, they have really good drinks made from local ingredients, and it's just like there's no pretentiousness there. So like some of the places you go in Ghana, like some of the places I've named previously, you're going to have to be like dressed to the nines, makeup done, all of that stuff. Republic, everybody is welcome at Republic. Anybody, no matter how you're dressed, nothing, everybody is welcome at Republic, and everybody is dancing, vibing, like just having a good time. Okay, and so my place of choice that has the best drinks, the coolest vibe, cheap, but just a lovely, lovely time is the Republic. So when we say nightlife, I want y'all to go to Republic. All right, so I kept y'all for about 30 minutes. Again, this is the 12 Days of Christmas Ghana edition. Day 1, I had to take you all to Accra, of course, and just kind of share with y'all some of the places that I think you should go while you're in the city. Now, day 2, we're going to actually leave Accra and we're going to be going into the central region of Ghana. So let me know in the comments if you can guess where you think we're going in the central region. Again, my name is Nzali. This is Nzali Takes Africa. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, make a comment down below. If you've been to any of the places that I've mentioned, let me know. Let the people know what your experience was. If you haven't, also let me know. And then also, if there are some places in Accra that you have questions about, drop it down in the comments and I will get back to you on like, yeah, sis, yeah, bro, you should go there. Or, leave that one alone. All right, until next time, stay blessed, keep yourselves healthy, and I will see you in Ghana. Bye.